What's going on, traders? How we doing? Y'all getting ready for the open? Let's go ahead and get this show started. I know the open already opened up, so a little late to the party. Looks like we had IPO Warriors go a little bit longer than usual, but let's go ahead and let's get into the open. Looks like the market is already moving, so it's going to be hard to give you guys trade ideas now. I'm going to do my best, but you guys go ahead up and throw some stocks in the chat, what you guys are looking at. We're already seeing stocks move. Yes, Nate, Body is going to be trading today, so wait for that kind of change over. We'll see if that kind of gets a big lift. Of course, I got on watch JD. I got some solar stocks on watch, some infrastructure stocks, and then also going to be watching some retail today. I'm going to be using my watch list a lot to kind of find the stocks and trading this morning since we don't have too much time to go through pre-market prep charts here. Sorry that I'm a little bit late at 9:32 open. I feel like, this should really start up at like 9 a.m. I'm sorry about that, guys. I'll definitely get you guys to where the market is moving, but let's go ahead and take a look at the heat map, see how we're looking right here at the open and what's kind of moving on up. Banking service turned from green to red. And of course, software and IT services starting to push on up. Look for those to kind of lead. Right now, Baidu, Billy. So look for JD to kind of make a nice lift up. I'm going to look to see if Baba can continue moving on up. Some other ones in there, PDD, we can take a look at. I'm going to be watching those, but let's go ahead and see what's moving on out there. If you guys got a stock that's moving, definitely let me know. Body is already trading on some platforms. I know it's supposed to trade today. What's Body? Body's FRX. So if some people might have it still under FRX, let me see if this changed over here. Body. Let's see if we got Body. Yeah, Body's showing up here. It's trading up at 11.95. Could continue moving on to the open, but we'll see if it kind of gets on open here. Looks like I'm having some late data on that one, so be careful with that one. For some reason, I'm having some late data on that one, so we'll see if this kind of keeps moving on its way up. And that's Body, Beach Body, going to be opening up. All right, there you go. We got some stocks definitely trading. ALF is already off to a good boom. I don't know. Looks like it's coming down on the 1 minute, but we'll see if it holds that kind of support here near the 1975s. We'll see if this kind of keeps on pushing. I wouldn't say it's off to the races, man. But I know how day traders are. They're definitely trying to keep it moving. Run is on the move. We could take a look. This is solar stocks. I've watched. This is really the one area that I think can continue moving on its way up. One of the ones that I have in this sector, I have Beam. I have BEEM. They got added to the Russell lately, so I'm going to see if that one can continue moving. That's BEEM. Look how the sun is starting to look strong. I'm going to look for Beam to get strong here right out the gates. We'll see if this one kind of keeps on moving on up. We'll see if it can gets that lift. Getting some alerts to come in here. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at some of the alerts here. Really quickly, I can see that Corsair Gaming's up about 4%. That one's a good one to keep on watch. Kern about 1.37%. So maybe cannabis on the move a little bit today. We'll keep an eye out if we see cannabis. Zynga up a significant amount, up 2%. Let's see if Zynga can make a move up today. It's kind of doing that red to green right now, but we'll see if it kind of pushes on up through this 1074 level here. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the 5 minute. Yes, you're seeing a nice lift up there towards the 1072. Look for some pullbacks towards 1060s, and we'll see if these kind of keep running. I'm really more of a swing trader now, guys, than a live day trader now. So what I'm trying to do is trying to look at the swing trades, the sectors that I was looking at to kind of point you in the right direction here. Let's go ahead and continue to look at what we're seeing moving. NVIDIA had good news this morning. I was going to get towards that, but a little bit late now to give you guys the news on NVIDIA. NVIDIA received support here. So we're definitely going to see if this can continue moving on up. All right, so we'll see if NVIDIA can move on up after they receive support for its planned $40 billion takeover of ARM. Let's take a look at that chart, see how it's moving. Look at that push on up there towards 78.85s. Look for a pullback towards VWAP and then a push back up. We'll look for a pullback closer towards 779 and then a push back out. We'll see if that can kind of get that lift today. JD not having a bad day to start it off. Starting to push on up there, 78.50s. This is one I am holding, am long, guys. I have a long on JD from 73.44s. So looking for this to continue moving on up through the 80. Once it gets to 80, we'll take some profit. Look for it to continue moving. And with that being said, you can look at Baba. Let's go ahead and take a look at what we see in the chat. What's going on in the chat? What do you guys want to take a look at? What is moving? What stocks do you want me to look at? Looks like QSI being mentioned. That's a D-SPAC stock. Let's see how that's moving today. Not a bad push up there towards 12.38 from about under $12 today. Look for a pullback to hold closer towards 12.12s and any pullback towards that VWAP, and then push on up through 12.45s is what I would look for. SoFi, I can't tell you to buy, that's not really what I'm here for, but I can tell you if I like the chart. That one's kind of turning around, so just be careful. But it did do a gap down, so it might try to fill that gap first. So you're talking to move up there towards 1850s, and then could have a strong retrace towards the VWAP. We'll see if that kind of continues that lift there. JD turning around there at the 78, almost 78.45s. Almost getting up there through the 78.50s, but definitely a hard turnaround. We'll see if it holds the 5-minute support, and we'll continue to hold that one, see if it gets a lift. Looks like we're starting to see some red show up on the heat maps, so just be careful, guys. Looks like there's a little bit of a red zone today. Semiconductors are looking like the strongest one, pretty much all in the green, except ASX, but big mover is AMD. AMD looking strong, guys. Look at that lift there in AMD. I like that push up there through the 87s, looking really strong there. NVIDIA looking strong. Also, ASML looking strong. I'm going to be looking to see if I could get a pullback in either AMAT or AMD to try to get in and attack that. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the 1 minute. See if we can get a pullback towards 86, 87 or 87 here. It's gone up towards 87, 85. What's going on? SPCE sold off. Yeah, I had a feeling that one would sell off. One of the things is that one's been making master lifts, master pushes down. This one likes to come back down towards the support. Came back down towards a 5-minute support. Let's see if it goes ahead and kind of pushes on off of that level. And we'll see it kind of catch this support here at 55.72s. That's what I'd want to see hold now on pullbacks. All right, guys, what do you guys had? Where's David Green at? David Green's not here. He's running his boot camp, so you got to be actually a part of his service. So if you're not a part of his service, then, hey, wackadoodle, you might have to go ahead and go pay up. Get on the David Green show. All right, guys. Mitch, what about RMO? RMO, let's take a look here at RMO towards the open. Look at that. Just pulling back there towards the 850s. We'll see if this one can kind of get it lift up. This one looks like it's kind of heading back down towards that 750 mark. Just be careful with that one. It could flush back down. All right, looking at some stocks that are coming up on the radar. It looks like there's one that's moving on up that is kind of a SPAC, but it's not too big of a move. It's just up towards 1063. That's DMYI. Could be getting an announcement or something like that, but we'll keep moving. What's on the sneak? Wackadoodle. Wackadoodle. You already know. All right, guys. PBLA moving. He's calling out. All right, let's take a look here. PBLA. A therapeutic stock. Yeah, it is moving on up significantly up there towards 425 off of the $4 mark. Let's see if it can hold $4 on pullbacks. 407 is the VWAP. That's what I would like to see it. But you see how it already went sideways, pushed on up. You could get a pullback towards support and then another lift up. We'll keep an eye out on these therapeutic stocks. It's really not anything that I really like to trade, guys. I would just give you the heads up. So I'll kind of break those down, but I don't trade biotechs. I try to stay away from them. You got to trade what you know. And for me, biotechs is definitely not it, guys. All right, taking a look at my watch list here, trying to find a mover from our list here. NIU, not looking too bad. I'm going to be looking at this one. This is kind of that infrastructure play. We can see if this one can kind of get a lift today. Look at the 1 minute. Yeah, that's a nice lift here right out the gates here, looking like it went from 31.43 up there to 32.10. We'll see if we can get a pullback towards 31.75s and then kind of get in this one. NIU, New Technologies, infrastructure stock. Let's see if this one can get ripping today. Definitely not a bad looking play there. JD recovering really well, looking strong there, starting to push up there to the 78.43s on pullbacks. If I was day trading, this is kind of the stock that I would look at just because it's looking really strong now. Could pull back here and you could hold towards 78.20s and then try to get a push through that 78.50s. Just if you guys are looking at some day trading looks. BKI going back down there. Millie is one that I'm expecting to continue its trend on its way up. We've been talking about this one. This is Mercado Libre, but a more expensive stock. Tesla today, I think, is going to have a nice pullback. I'm looking for 650s on the pullback. Looks like it's holding right now. We'll see if this one can come back down. I've been looking to see if I can get a pullback in this one closer towards 650s, and then I can get right back in this one, making a good gain on it last week. That was Tesla. All right, let me take a look here at my stocks here. See what we got moving. All right, let's take a look at CCIV. CCIV is one that I got into just on Friday, guys. Reason I got into this one, I think this one can continue ripping on up. I actually have a entry in this one at 25.22, guys, 25.22. So looking for CCIV to get a lift here at VWAP. So entry to me would be about 26.50s right now. And I'd be looking for it to rip up there through the 26.75s, getting up there to the 27. Let's see if it gets that lift right now. This is this look right here on the top right corner. Let's see if this one can kind of lift on up there. Yeah, that's how I kind of approach this one. I'm already in this one, so I'm not going to add, but I think it could get moving. That CCIV mentioned in the chat. I got you guys. All right, I'm going to keep going through the stocks in the chat here. Really, I mean, today I'm kind of more along trying to find the stocks that you guys are looking at, so I'm not trying to take too many trades here just because I'm all over the place. Wasn't ready for the open, as you guys can tell. We were not here before the open, planned out with planned trades so that we can take that attack. Now that the market's already open, one of the things that I would do is I would just look for movers to continue moving. That's what I want to kind of use here. So let's go ahead and let's take a look at Benzinga Pro, see what we have moving on the day, see what's kind of making a lift on up, and then we can just use our regular session movers here. Let's take a look at what's kind of getting the lift on the day and what's making a move. So right now, let me take the market cap off here so we can just get all the stocks that are making lift in the regular session. We got a bunch of health stocks up here. That's what I'm seeing right now. But let's see if we can get some other stocks to kind of move. ALF with a nice pullback after that big rip up right at the open. Now holding 20. 20 is kind of a good level to go off of. We'll see if that kind of holds on this one. This is ALF, that kind of big ripper. We'll see if it kind of holds at that level. Trying to find some other ones here. JKS, not bad. Look at solar. Solar, guys, we were talking about solar stocks. Let's keep a watch on them. Look at this lift you're getting in JKS. For that being said, look at SOL to get a lift. SOL is one that I'm looking to see if it can continue running. It did just push up there towards 919, pulled back to 905. Let's see if that can get a lift. Max N is another stock to watch in that sector. Now it's up, looking good, starting to push up through the 21s. This is one that I gave in the $17 area. So definitely, guys, you guys got to keep on Money Mitch. If you guys want to be a little bit earlier in the sectors, get into the ones that are trending. That's what I try to do on Money Mitch, guys. So if you guys haven't watched Money Mitch, definitely check it out. Today will be on at 4 p.m. Eastern, and I'll definitely have some more trade ideas for you guys. Right now, I'm looking great in Churchill Capital. CCIV starting to make a good lift on up. We just talked about this move from 25.50 up there to 27. Guess what happened right now, guys? Literally, that exact move just happened on up. CCIV just made that push on up there. You could have got in there at 26.50, push on up there to 27, got up there to 26.99, and I took profits there, guys. This is my big mover of the week, or at least what I expect to get a nice lift, a nice rip up. I'm in this one and looking to get continued through that 27 and get a continued lift up. That's CCIV. Let's see if it continues moving. Cannabis was taking a little bit of a bounce today. Let's see how TLRY is looking right now. A nice little lift on up there to 862s. Look for pullbacks closer towards 840s, 1840s, but it already happened on the 5-minute. Let's see it now. See it now on the 1 minute. I like this chart now that you're starting to get this sideways action here. Let's take a look. Let's try to break it down really quickly here. So you got in kind of this one push on up, a pullback, another push on up. It could come back down and test support down here. So just be careful. That is the support down towards those levels. 1830s, I could see it pulling back to, but let's see it go sideways here. A couple tests on the VWAPs. That's what I would like to see. And then a continued push on up with Tilray. You can look at some other ones. CDC not having a bad day. Nice bounce there off the VWAP. Kern is another one that was up on the day. Let's see if this one can continue lifting, holding VWAP multiple times. Really starting to test it. So let's see if it can rip on up and get that lift. All right, what's going on, guys? What are you guys seeing? So tired of Disney? Yeah, if you're tired of Disney, one that I wanted to keep a watch on. I'm not sure if it's moving today, so I'm just going to take a look here. But this is Discovery, and this is one that I'm really starting to take a look at, guys, long term. If you like a stock like Disney, I think you take a shot in Discovery. I like this stock. I like how it kind of turned around here, had a good level Friday. We could see a little bit of a pullback, but I think Discovery is a good one to watch. ATOS, Charlie calling out. I'm going to take a look at that one. I got you, Charlie. Let's go ahead and take a look here. Looks like we're having a nice pullback here. This is a therapeutic stock. Looks like a VWAP fade. If you guys know my short calls, this is the VWAP. You just see a hard action, bounce to VWAP, and you could fade right off that VWAP, hold towards the resistance here. Let's say 760s. You could have been shorting at the 740s, looking for a move back down, 40 cents down, 20-cent risk. There you go. You got it right around here, guys. 708, 710 level. Not a bad trade there. ATOS looking good on the short side. Let's see if it reverses on the hourly. LI calling out by Trade Money here. Trade Money calling LI. Definitely a good stock to watch. With that being said, you could also watch XPEV. These are some that I had and I called out when they were down below at the $28 level, but look at this continuation. Definitely one that I maybe should have held for the second move on up. Now we're pushing on up there, 245s. XPEV looking good. And for that being said, I'm sure NIO is also looking good. And you can see it up also. That's why I like trading these kind of side by side. NIO, XPEV, LI, Trade Money. Usually when one's up, the other's up. One of them usually lags the other. So that's what you got to keep an eye out. Which one's the laggard right now? Which one's the leader? And which one has the catalyst to continue moving? AMC, Christian wants a look. I'll take a look here for those apes. AMC, what's going on in it? Are we going to get that lift? You know, we broke out of the kind of that symmetrical triangle and then have gone sideways, really. But let's take a look here at how I break this down technically. And really technically wise, it's really starting to get towards that point where it's starting to push on up and have a line in the sand. And if you had that look here, you guys can kind of look at this and say 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up, 3 down. So really, I want to see this kind of $52 level start holding up. So we're going to move our support up here towards about 52.97, pretty much 53. And now we got to see this stock. We really want to see it start breaking out from these levels. You see how it came right towards the bottom trend line that I just drew? That's a good sign. Now, the big thing is, can you get some big volume to push it on through when it gets through 58? 58 is going to be a big, important price point, and it needs to get a volume spike. If you kind of see this volume at the bottom here, we're getting this declining action, and we need to see a spike in the volume for it to continue its move on up when it gets through resistance. It's a good-looking chart because you got that 1 up, 1 down, 2 up, 2 down, 3 up. Let's see if it holds it on pullbacks, guys. Holding on pullback is what we want to see. And now I can test up there towards 58. And really, if it gets some volume, it could get moving. The big thing, can it trade some big volume? Today, we're only trading about 16 million shares so far. And we want to see something about 81 million shares. So you need to see some pickup in that volume size. Look for some big volume to jump in there, big orders, and we'll see if it continue moving. There it is. Semi ape. I like it. I like a semi ape in that move. GME on the move. That could help it. Definitely. GME's. This is GM. Oof, not a good looking chart for GM if you guys are looking at GM, but look at that push on up. Nice lift there. Let's see if it gets through the resistance here of kind of this 227.78, maybe 228 level. That's what you want to see it get through. Then it can really start pushing back up there. It really did a downtrend on the 9th, and where it really started coming back down from the 9th and the 10th. Let's see if it can get back up to these levels up here towards 246, 250. That will give GME a good look on the daily as it starts bouncing back up there to those levels. Interesting stock to keep an eye out for sure. All right, WKHS, let's take a look here. The workhorse. All right, let's take a look here on the workhorse. Nice lift up there towards 1709. Look for a pullback closer towards the support here. 1629 is what I'd kind of look for, a pullback here, and see if it holds there at 1650. But I think it's heading back down closer towards 1617. Try to find some support and then try to lift back up on this one. This is Workhorse Group, WKHS. One of the things that's been talked about Workhorse is how do they really kind of push their drone products, because I think that's really what they have an advantage in right now, the Horsefly. And a lot of people are thinking that, a lot of this technology is going to be adapted. So we'll see if this kind of continues moving on up. Of course, still post-contract talks in this stock, so keep your eyes on that. All right, let's go ahead and just keep going. Let's see what we got out there. If you guys see a stock that you guys want to call out, let me know in the chat. SNDL is being mentioned in the chat. I'll definitely take a look here. That's probably a little bit of a penny stock mover here, but could have a dollar magnet. It already touched the dollar once. Let's see if we can get through that level again. A lot of times when you get these pop-ups to $1, it tries to get up through that dollar and then cuts back down. So you got to be careful there. Right now, we're on that price point where you're trying to get through that dollar price point. Looks like we got through it on the 23rd. So if you draw on the hourly, you'll see kind of this trending look where it went up 1, down 1, up 2, down 2, up 3. Has to hold this support of 96. If not, it could crack it on the downside if it tests again. We'll see if it gets through these levels and gets to the $1, back up there towards 106. Not a bad looking chart, at least because you have support underneath it on the 1 hour, but not a lot of volume it's trading right now. I think it really needs to get through that $1 level. Let's see if it gets through that on the 5 minute. You see quick pullbacks to the VWAP. That's what you want to see, at least buyers stepping up on VWAP. Now it really needs to get some volume on this breakout when it tries to test that $1. Here we go. We're going to look like we're going to test it again. You see how you get these pushes up and it bounces right off VWAP? That's why I like the VWAP so much. It helps you get that bottom action look, especially if you're going on the long side. Let's keep it going. Another stock to keep a watch out. We'll see Sundial, see if it can get to that lift here. Let me see it on the level 2s here. See if you see any buyer or seller just hiding up there at the top here. Let's take a look here. Yeah, it looks at $1. There's about 129,000 stacked up there, guys. And so that's what you want to kind of get through that level. So you need to see him kind of get smacked through. A lot of this is that there's not much volume on the bid side. All the volume is just hanging out at those 101s, 102s, 105s, 106. There's a bunch of volume just sitting up there. So to get through those levels, it's going to need a lot of volume to clear that. So look for a lot of volume to leak through those levels from the 99 to the 106. There's a bunch of volume left up there. I would say that's near 1 million shares there that are just hanging out there. So we'll see if it gets through those levels. All right, time to keep going, trying to find a stock I want to take a trade today. So let's go ahead and take a look here at what we got moving. CCIV continue moving on up there through the 2730s. This is one that I gave out at least at 2650s and gave a push. Was looking for a push through 27. Now you're through 2730s. We'll see if this can continue on making a move up there to 28 today. That's what I want to see for CCIV. And that's a big trade if we can get it on up there through the 28s and it really start moving up for us. All right, try to find some other movers here. Run, making a nice lift. Let's see if it finds support now. Kind of gets that lift here. TAN, the ETF, not looking bad too. This is solar. So let's see if that continues its move. Trying to find some other plays here that we can keep a watch out for. HubSpot not doing too bad, up about 2%. AVXL, look how these health stocks were trading. Not really the best trade. Kind of did a big pullback there. Jemiah is one that's interesting, Corey. I'll take a look at that one. Let's go ahead and take a look here at Jemiah. How's it moving? I know it was starting to move on up. Look at that push. Look at that VWAP bounce. Push on up through VWAP. Pull back to VWAP. It just touched it and then ripped back up. That's a nice little VWAP bounce play. Good lift up there, 231.24s. I would use a 5-minute now. Try to see if it could come back towards the VWAP 30.62, but really looking strong on the daily as it comes up to this kind of trend line look. We'll see if it gets up there to 33.40s, and then this one can really start pumping back up. As we see, this one got a great push from that kind of Citron push that was down here, but really getting a lift there now, starting to get lift through 31, looking strong as this one could continue lifting when it gets to those levels. Let's see if it pushes on up through this kind of daily trend line and really starts ripping on up here. 31.10s, that's Jemiah, and could keep going. The Amazon of Africa, guys. So let's go ahead and take a look here. Baba did have some bad news today. Boeing with some bad news, and I feel like it's heading back towards 232 area. Be careful with this one. This one is on the downtrend. Had some really bad news about plane not being able to come out, so we'll see if that kind of continues moving in that direction. It's not the best play right now. You've always kind of seen these troubles with Baba, so I'd kind of stay away from it from Boeing right now. So definitely keep your eyes on Boeing. See if it kind of makes its move on up. BA, there you go. That's what I was looking at. I don't know why it's because someone else put Baba. It got me in my head. But definitely we'll keep a watch on Boeing to see if it bounces, makes that gap back fill. But definitely a down gap on that one. So not the best looking chart on that. Baba, let's see how the Chinese are doing. Chinese e-commerce is starting to push on up. Got a nice lift there going into the close. We'll see if it can continue moving on up through that 230 level. I have JD, so I'm going to keep an eye out on that one. Not looking too bad, but going up and down. So just be careful with that one. Let's take a look here at the chart, see what we see here. JD pulling back to the 77.97s. See if it can hold that, get back up through the 78.50s. That's what we want to see happen today. 5-minute chart has it holding right now. 15-minute chart has a big support underneath it at 77.70. So let's see if that holds and it comes and gets through this 78.50 level. We don't want to see it crack on down and start downtrending back to this gap down. Even though we're in at 74, we want to see this one continue trending on its way up. If not, we can take profits, and that's in JD. All right, guys, let's go ahead and catch up with the chat, see what else I got moving. I'm going to keep going with you guys for a little bit longer, probably about till 10:30, and then I'll definitely let Spencer jump on in and kind of keep you guys going into SPACs Attack, where we got an interview today. So definitely check it out. We got a LiDAR company coming up. HOL being mentioned in the chat. So let's take a look at HOL. And then we're going to go ahead and take a look at the heat map, see what we got moving out there. Looks like Helicity getting a nice lift up there from 1128s to 1150s. Looks like maybe you get some space love. STW, SFTW is one that I've been waiting to see if it gets some lift. That's not moving right now. ASTS, let's see if ASTS Space Mobile kind of gets a lift today. This one has already tried to kind of push on out before. It had a kind of short squeeze with kind of the Reddit traders. Let's see if this one can hold support and really start pushing back up there towards the 1140s. But HOL not looking bad today. Helicity pushing on up there towards the 1150s. If you call it a downtrend here, needs to hold kind of these 1137s or 1125 on pullbacks. We'll see if this one can continue lifting. Let's take a look at the heat map. What's moving on up? Looks like Apple's having a good move today. Etsy having a good move today. OZON having a good day today. We'll continue to watch those to see if we get a lift. Looks like, of course, software and IT services still doing well. This is the number one sector, I think, and industry that you should be watching right now as we continue to see lifts on up and continue to see moves on its way up. So look at Twilio having another strong day today, pushing on up. This is a stock that we gave on Money Mitch 2 weeks ago when we started seeing the lift in tech stocks. So we're going to see if this can continue moving. One that, of course, led the move with Shopify. Look how Shop is still looking good today, pushing on up. We'll see if this one can continue making moves on up. Another one having strong day today. I'm going to say ATVI, and Zoom. But let's go to Zoom first. Zoom video is so important. Why? Because, guys, there's so many bigger traders in this one. This is one of the biggest holdings in ARKK. And look how it's starting to push on up there. A lot of people wouldn't have gave it back above 300. And now you're seeing a strong move up there towards 383. We're going to look to see if this can continue moving. And this one's kind of pushing that move. Look at that gap up in ARKK, now up there towards 129, really starting to lift, and we'll see if it can continue moving. All right, guys, appreciate the super sticker, $10 super sticker. I appreciate it. I'm trying to keep the pace up, trying to keep the motion up, going to drink some coffee, going to keep it going. Let's go. AI coming up next, Nate Miller. I see you in the chat. All right, let's keep going here. AI was actually a part of some of the ones that I was going to look at today. With that being said, you have a nice move right now. Looks like the hourly is starting to push on up. Let's take a look at the 1 minute. There's a couple of ones that I'm going to be taking a look at in here that I wrote down. Let me go back here. I had these written down. So this morning I gave out a couple of them to keep on watch here. So AI was one of them. We were going to keep an eye out to see if Asana could get a good lift. Also API, Agora. Agora was one I gave out on my podcast this morning. Was looking for Agora to keep on its move on up. Look how it kind of pushed on up, went sideways, broke down below the VWAP, but really started to push on up when we got through that VWAP again. We'll see if this one can continue its move. This is API. And for that move, did Asana keep moving? I've been trying to keep an eye out on this one when it could get a lift again. Looks like it is getting a lift again. Look how this one continues to rip on out. One that I gave last weekend was Splunk. I thought this one could continue moving. This was before the gap up. So we're talking right here, guys. We're talking when I started giving out this stock. And now look how it's gapped up and continue to push. We'll see if this one can continue to lift today. SPLK. I've been seeing a lot of these kind of SaaS services kind of do great moves. So you got to keep your eyes on these. I think they can continue seeing lifts. Workday seeing a nice lift up there today. If you take a look here on the daily, look how these have been really getting strong lately. I think that's why you're seeing moves in like a stock like PSFE, PaySafe, when it kind of spiked on up. Not holding it right now, but we'll see if this kind of continues making moves. CrowdStrike up about 1%. Definitely internet security, one of the biggest things on radars right now. Let's keep going. What's going on, guys? CLVS, bad move in that one. All right, let's take a look here. CLVS, and then I'll take a look at some of my reopening plays that I've been looking to see if they're going to continue. Pull back down, kind of a cup and handle look here. Like on the daily, you see this cup action. It's okay if it pulls back. I would like it to hold kind of this moving average here. It's kind of 9 moving average. Let's see if it holds 625s and then curls back through that 660. It's not the worst look, but looks like a cup and handle there on the daily chart. All right, let's keep going. What else stocks you guys got out there you guys wanted me to take a look at? If there's a stock, put it in the chat. That's what I'm here for, guys. Smash the like, guys. We got over 400 people watching today. Definitely hit the like, guys. This is what we're here for. And like always, guys, you guys check out Benzinga Pro. You guys can get this access for free, guys. This is all you need is a credit card for your first trial. So definitely check it out, guys. I'm going to go ahead and put up a link here at the bottom to show you how you guys can be getting a discount on Benzinga Pro. So definitely smash the like. I'll put that discount here at the bottom so you guys can take a look. YouTube 20 gets you 20% off any Benzinga Pro subscription. And of course, it's absolutely free to try if it's your first time. You don't even need a credit card. So check it out, guys. Let's take a look, see what we got moving on up today. Of course, Max N was one of my highlights of the day. Going to keep an eye out on this one to see if it kind of got that lift today. Solar not doing bad there. Max N was one of the major ones on the watch. Look how it recovered the daily. It kind of pulled back and really pushed on up there. 5-minute chart showing you that strength here right into the open, 935. It pushed on up, went from 20 up there to 2088. So many people are missing out on this solar play that I definitely want to continue to bring it up. I think solar is going to make a big move on up. Some other stocks you can watch to see if it continues moving. We talked about SOL on our podcast this morning, our Money Mitch podcast that comes out every single morning at 9 a.m. This was part of my watch list, SOL. We'll see if it can continue making its move on up. And with that being said, you guys heard me talk about earlier that I was in Beam, right? Beam starting to recover here. So let's see if this one can continue making its move on up. I'm actually in this one. Let's take a look here. Where's my entry here? I want to tell you guys exactly. I'm at 38.15s, guys, 38.15s. So this morning we make a lift up from that 38. Now we're up there towards almost 39. Let's see if we can get towards this 39 level. Biggest thing with this one is it did get added to the Russell. I like the daily chart, like how much volume came in it when it had that Russell add. So we'll see if this one can get through this level and get to 40 today. At the end of the day, that would be a great looking chart for me. This is BEEM. And with that being said, let's look at First Solar and some of these other solar stocks. Look how solar is starting to push on up. FSLR, First Solar, really starting to get a lift there. SPWR, SunPower, also getting a lift. Man, what is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 names given in solar just this morning, guys, that are on the uptrend and are in the green. So, hey, 6 names in the solar. What does that show you guys? Right? That's sector analysis. That's industry analysis, guys, making it to move on up, really making it lift. So definitely smash the like button if you like analysis like this. I give it out on my podcast every morning, my watch list. So check out Money Mitch, his daily watch list, guys. You guys can find it on anywhere you guys got podcasts. Definitely check it out. When we return, guys, we're going to take a small little break here. Check out Benzinga Pro. And like always, guys, it's absolutely free if it's your first time. No credit card needed.
When you want to maximize your performance in the market, you need access to the highest quality tools and news available. Benzinga Pro stands out from all of the options you'll be presented with, and their instant access to market-moving news positions you to be prepared to take on the market in the best ways possible. Here's how it works. Benzinga Pro's news desk creates original news content that's available on your main news feed and gives you actionable information about companies you may want to invest in. This news desk information gives you the chance to beat the market, receive impactful news as it breaks, and jump on trending stocks before and as they rise. And beyond that, Benzinga Pro is packed with helpful features and unique insights that give you the best information possible. There's tools like the Live Audio Squawk, which streams every day with important news and timely updates, and the real-time news alerts that allow you to stay on top of every developing story you're keeping tabs on. Alerts and news will be sent straight to your inbox or delivered as live sound alerts. For those investors that want real-time, actionable, and breaking news about companies they may be looking to invest in, Benzinga Pro is the tool to use.
All right, and we're back, traders. Welcome back. Welcome back. Taking a look at some of these solar moves, and definitely SOL looking strong. This is probably not one of my best ones for the day, up about 5%. But really what it's a good look is that it's really off the bottom support compared to the other solar stocks that had been pushing on up. I'm going to go into some of the lithium plays right now that I'm looking at. PLL not having a bad day. Good push up there in PLL. This is a stock. This is a lithium play, and I'm thinking that you're going to start seeing some lithium runs. MP also looking strong. This is one that I gave back down in the 26 area, and now really starting to get up there and looking strong at 35, 36. This one could continue to move. If you don't want to play specific plays in the lithium sector and you just want to get into kind of more of an ETF, I suggest you look at LIT. Look how this has changed in the last couple of weeks. I know a lot of people have been keeping their eyes off of this, but that's a nice move on up and could continue to move. That's lithium play, and it's making not a bad looking move there. All right, let's go ahead and catch up with the chat. LTHM is another good one. LTHM making it good. This one's not. This was off support now. Let's see this one. This was making it pull back down here, guys. This is not making the lift up. Not what I expect to see, but could be doing a weekly pullback, coming a little bit closer towards this $16 look before it wants to uptrend again. So keep your eyes on that. Really hard turnaround here from this third resistance. Let's see if it comes back down to support. We always talk about the level of the rule of three, right? And so you get this one lift, pull back, one lift, look for a pullback, and then a swing right back up there towards 1875. You want to see multiple attempts to get through the resistance. This is about the third attempt to get to resistance. Multiple support holds here as you see those wicks. So you definitely want to see that support hold if it gets touched again. But if it gets touched anywhere near that and turns right back around, this one would definitely be interesting. LTHM there. All right, let's keep going. What other ones? EV market moving trade. I could take a look here. Let's look at FSR, one of my favorites in the American markets. If I'm looking for EV to make a move in America, I'm looking at FSR to see it kind of continue its way. And look at that. You see that continued lift there in FSR. And with that being said, you could probably see some other U.S. EV makers make a lift on up. Really, you got to be careful with, let's say, names like Helion and kind of these trucking names. But I think you could see stocks like we saw the Chinese ones making moves already. XPEV, those are kind of, I think, the leaders right now in the EV. If you keep seeing those kind of make a move, then you could see some sympathy also in some other EV makers. Some ones that I'd keep a watch out, but more along are some bigger names in kind of busing, and that kind of platform is Arrival. Arrival's back down towards 1673s. That looks interesting off of 16. And I'm going to see if that one can hold 16 and start pushing back up. Let me catch up with the chat, see the biggest movers in there. Beach body. Who wants their body? Who wants that body? That beach body. Can't blame you guys. This is actually one that I've been watching for a long time. I actually traded it when it was up here at this 1108. I traded that spike and was able to make some profit. I wasn't able to catch this spike because when it came back down to these levels, I stopped paying attention to it, but really should have bought it back up near the support here and could have got this spike right back up there. Good move on up. We've been talking about this pattern in FRX and that we expected it when it changed over to body to really get a lift. One of the things to mention also is the ticker itself, BODY. I think they got the perfect ticker name, and that itself could help it. We know how investors like, especially these ticker names recently. And I think this one could get also some retail love, some Reddit love. So pay attention to it. You could see this one pop up on Reddit threads as of late. You know, one of the things is when you get that switch over, a lot of momentum comes into these names, and we're starting to see that lift. Thanks for Jemiah. Hey, if you're able to nail Jemiah, hey, nice trade, nice trade. We talked about it a little bit earlier. Definitely looking positive on the day. What's going on, Born? Good to see you in the chat. Good to see some loyal viewers here in the chat. I know Trade Money always here. Quebec, WK, Yogi, always in the house. What's up? What's up? Laylee is definitely probably making some money out there. Duke the Fool. Happy Muhammad in the house. Nate Miller. Hey, I always like to see the new faces. Say hello if you guys are new to the channel. If you guys are new, smash that like button. Hit the subscribe. This is what we're here for. We're here for you guys. So definitely smash that like button and hit the subscribe bell down below so you guys can get notified the moment we go live. All right, guys. So one of the things that we've been doing is kind of trading through the open, but really I'm not taking any trades today because I wasn't ready with some trade ideas for day trading at the open. Was looking for more of my swing trade ideas, but they continue to make it smooth. So let's go ahead and just talk about some of those. Let's see if Match made a move up today again. Looks like we're pulling back towards support, so it's a good move here. 160s, we'll see if it kind of holds his pullback. With that being said, you'll probably see Bumble make a pullback. This is one that I've been watching to see when it can pull back towards the levels. It needs to pull back closer towards 50 because it did a good lift up last week. We talked about this one from 49 all the way up to 60. We'll see if this kind of continues going. It's kind of a reopening play that most people aren't watching. One that I wanted to see catch a bid today was ULCC. Let's see if that catches a bid. And it's looked like it's not. It's breaking back down towards 1735. We'll see if that one gets a lift because this one could give us a sign for the overall airlines when they really want to start taking a lift. I think I'm watching this one as my radar for the overall airlines. And look at that. American Airlines taking a dip, hard dip down, and that's why I'm watching that other one to see if it can kind of continue making that move. Let's see what's going on with the cruises. Let's see if that kind of makes a move. Looks like we got a hard dip in the cruise also. Reopening trade coming off, guys. Be careful out there. Looks like CCL breaking back down there also. So with that being said, I'm sure you're going to start seeing RCL. Look at that. Had a nice setup. Nice candle. Didn't hold that trend line, pulling back down there today, 84.39. Just be careful with those reopening plays today. It looks like they're definitely taking a hit on the downside. All right, so really leaders today, EV and solar. At least I was on solar. I wasn't on EV this morning, but definitely starting to see a lift here in GAN. Let's see if we can get a lift in PEN. PEN is the one that I want to see the gaming sector really come back in. And look how this one keeps testing down. That's what we want to see change. We need to see this pattern change in PEN. And I think when you see that happen, you'll start seeing these other gambling plays really start to uptrend. Let's take a look here. Desktop Metals not having a bad day, bounce back, but it had a good washout on Friday. So it's kind of just a bounce back. Wouldn't pay too much about attention to that one. Let's take a look at some other ones. QCOM getting a lift, but really nothing much. As you can see, he's kind of stuck in the sideways period. We were looking to see if AMD kind of made a move on up today. Really not making too big of a move, but starting its drive is just kind of slow and kind of but it's starting to get a little bit leaner on its way up. So that's not a bad look. Really kind of a mixed day. We got some software and infrastructure up. Some software ups. You can see these kind of Facebook names, NVIDIA, big. That's one that I wish we would have talked about a little bit more in pre-market. They did have some support news of that ARM kind of takeover. Pretty much public displays of support that came from Broadcom, Marvel, and MediaTek. That's one that definitely I feel like I could have called out, but it just already made its move right there at the open. Zoom has a 3% day. Shopify continue to move on its way. Man, what a stock. When we first started calling Shopify, this thing has made a massive move since that day. I think almost a 20% move for a stock it was at 1,400. Just a crazy move in that stock. So we'll see if that kind of continues making its move. Dell not having a bad day. Apple not having a bad day. So that's not a bad move. We'll keep watching that. Banking services definitely turned around. This was all green this morning, and this went all red there. So definitely keep your eyes on that. We've seen the banking turn around. We'll see if that kind of continues moving. All right. Looks like we got Spencer in the house. You guys already know where's Spencer at. Where's Spencer? I want to see some Spencer alerts in the chat. Let me get some Spencer alerts in the chat, and let's bring on the one, the only, Israel.
I can never go too far. I can never go too far away, Mitch. So what's up? How we doing?
Boom. I don't know, man. It's kind of a sideways day in the market. What are you thinking?
Hey, there's a lot happening. You've been stealing my thunder. I've been trying to figure out some things to talk about here for the next half hour or so, and you've been talking about a lot of the things that I had on my list already.
Hey, solar, right? I think
Yeah.
that's definitely an industry that's looking strong. I mean, good change around, especially because it had like 4 or 5 months on the downturn. I mean, let's look at First Solar. Like, I think that's kind of what you can look at, maybe FSLR or EMPH. I consider those two kind of like major leaders in this industry.
Yes.
And I mean, you look at the weeklies, and I mean that weekly last week really showed a kind of change in the trend. I mean, it was down here from March, essentially. March 5th, it was already down here. So you're talking about kind of 3 months of sideways action breaking out of. So we'll see if it kind of continues moving. Do you think that we're going to continue to see pressure on China in solar, Spencer?
Yeah. I mean, we're less than a year into the Biden administration, right? And they're already taking steps. So we've got 3 more years of that at least. So yeah, I think for the near term, at least for the rest of Biden's term, then yeah, for sure. I definitely expect headwinds for Chinese solar, tailwinds for U.S. solar, between the tariff and the tax credit headlines from a couple weeks ago. There's a lot to like if you're First Solar, and a lot to not like if you're CSIQ, CSIQ, and
DQ,
and the other big Chinese solar names. There's a lot to be worried about.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, it's kind of like, did they go on a blacklist? I think I was hearing they were gonna start blacklisting some of these names. So that's also a concern too, right? I mean, if you're an investor and they're talking about potentially taking some of these off the market, definitely keep your eyes on that. I did hear rumors of that, so that could definitely change it. But let's take one of the best ones that I think can really do well in here is SPWR, right? SunPower, because they actually make the panels, right? And so we're not talking about like one that's just making plans for different companies on how they can use. That's kind of more of an SOL thing, and so that's kind of more of that play. But to me, SunPower should get a lift here with that. Actually, they sell these products here in the United States, and there's a lot of demand for these products, right?
Yeah. No, you're right. On the other hand, though, sort of flying in the face of this is Jinko Solar, JKS, which is up
which is leading right now. Definitely.
Right. So
look at that hourly.
I know there was a headline. There was a couple headlines this morning from Jinko, right? They announced
go ahead and put those up.
They're expanding here. Let me bring up my news feed here. JKS. Let me zoom in for you. They announced an expansion. So there was headlines on Friday. Friday they had earnings is what it was. So they had earnings on Friday. The numbers were very good. And then they announced some expansion plans this morning. They're going to IPO on China's Star Market, which is like China's version of like a venture market. It's like it's a newer exchange for China. But anyway, a bunch of headlines here. This is follow through action from Friday when we got a strong earnings report. So Jinko is sort of flying in the face of the rest of the Chinese solar trade, it seems like to me. And you never know these things, like if they were to come out with a blacklist of like, oh, these are all the companies that we're not good, that we're going to ban imports from or whatever. You always have to count on like some exemptions. Like these companies pay a lot of money for lobbying, right? So there's definitely going to be, there's always exemptions. There's always exemptions to the rule. Jinko Solar is, I believe, the largest player in manufacturer in China. So, I let the price speak for itself. It's up 10% this morning.
Definitely.
11% now.
I'm just glad that we were keeping a watch on this sector. Also, the sector not doing too bad. Let's see if it continues its move. Did Baba keep moving? I know that it made a lift. Now it's kind of coming back. We'll see if that kind of continues its move. It did make a lift up. A little bit of a sideways day, pullback day. It did make a new high, but kind of one of those little fake out highs where it just makes a high and then comes back down.
Yeah.
We'll see if that kind of continues making its move. Other than that, what other industries you looking at, Spencer?
I'm watching energy here, everyone.
All right.
This has been your leader for the year, right? This has been your best performing sector in the U.S. stock market in 2021. You can see the XLE up on my screen leading the way downward today. Don't forget, we do have an OPEC meeting on the books for Thursday. I believe it's Thursday. I want to say Thursday. And yeah, it is Thursday. Whatever OPEC decides, whether they're gonna, increase supply or what, the point still stands that energy has been the leader in the market this year. Look at the run energy's had. You can look at the XLE, you can look at ExxonMobil, Chevron, oil futures, whatever. Pick your poison. This looks like a normal, healthy pullback, right? Same thing we got a week ago, right, or a week and a half ago now. Looks like a normal, healthy pullback, and as long as you hold the recent low of this move, which are these two lows there at what 52 and both in 50 at the $52 range, I'd be inclined to buy this dip because every dip has been a dip to be bought. So I'm watching energy today. It is leading us downward. It tends to do this every couple of weeks. And then it just continues marching higher. So I have XLE, I have Chevron, I have Exxon. All these charts look identical. Let's pull up a 15-minute chart. They are all down today, and I don't really have any energy exposure in my portfolio. At least not this kind of energy, and I could be inclined to buy some dips here. So that's what I'm watching because it is leading us downward here this morning. I'm also watching tech. I mean, Jesus, Murphy, right? These cues are so strong right now, right? It's unbelievable.
People thought they were turning around, man.
It is unbelievable. God, I was probably bearish there. I was bearish there. I was bearish here. Holy God!
That 325 area is where we went super bullish on Money Mitch, and we said 350 breakout, and it was past. I mean, there wasn't even 350 on the charts. It was only 340s on the charts, and we saw the tech. We kept asking this question: is tech back? I mean,
you can't.
You got your answer, right?
You can't stop it. You can't stop it. You
can't.
I mean, no. It's.
I mean, also look at. I like the chart of Apple because it shows kind of how we were in sideways period with these bigger names for so long.
Yeah, let's do that.
This is about, August when that made that first move up, and then just sideways since August, and now we finally starting to break out of that pattern. So it's going to be interesting. I think this is the one that I watched to see the continuous lift in the move. This is what got me excited in Tesla, really, when I saw Apple started making a move, because I saw the other techs, like the big techs, let's say Microsoft, Google, Facebook, those were already moving. Yeah. And I was looking for these. They're kind of more the growth names, at least what I feel, the growth leaders in here in tech, like Apple and Tesla. And they started turning around last week. So that's really the lift. If we can see Apple continue moving, I think you continue to see tech until the end of the year.
I mean, yeah. For how long do we complain? Oh, tech is not doing nothing. It's boring. It's not. The rest of the market's on fire. GameStop's going to the moon, and Apple's doing nothing. And it looks like it wants to come out of this range. It's trying. It really wants to. And honestly, I want it to as well.
I was talking about this on the weekend, Spencer, and I was thinking really, at the end of the day, I think this is really kind of a change in investors. I think part of it is that you're going to start seeing the retail investor that came in during the pandemic start their way out. Why? Why, Spencer? I feel that at the end of the day, a lot of these investors that got in during the pandemic time were in because they could save some money that they weren't being able to save before the pandemic, right? So they were putting their money kind of more into investing. Maybe they had some more time at home to actually keep their eyes on these stocks. And now you're starting to see the trend go away from that because you're seeing people take trips. You're seeing people take flights. You're people make purchases, like big purchases. And I think that money is being slowly taken from these smaller names and being put into these high quality names that you're seeing in tech. So I think this is a rotation in the investors' mentality that you're starting to see the old investors come back and start taking some higher quality names. And you're starting to see these smaller names and these growth investors starting to slowly tick away because they're taking their money out of the market and taking trips and those traveling and that kind of move.
Maybe. Well, I mean, maybe.
What do you think of that mentality? I mean,
I don't think old investors never went away, right? So
I feel like they started holding their cash a little bit because, I mean,
maybe.
when you see Amazon and you see kind of these bigger names just go sideways for so long.
Yeah. I mean, you're right. It is telling when the stocks that essentially led the market higher for a decade have done nothing for almost a year now, right? Amazon has done nothing for almost a year. It's pretty like this hasn't happened in Amazon in over a decade, right? Like let's go to a monthly chart here. All right, I lied. It did happen in 2018 for
sideways period,
there,
and then a big breakout, right? I mean, following it.
Like look at this consolidation like on the monthly. I mean, this is just we're talking about Amazon here. It's like one of the largest companies in the world. So pretty rare when this happens. And so it is telling, and I think I'm looking for. I mean, a breakout would be great, and I see no reason why. Like there's nothing to change the underlying fundamentals of these companies, right? I mean, they still print money. Amazon prints money. The only real headwind I can think of is antitrust stuff, and we all know that. If we ever get to a ruling, it'll take years for the government to get anything on these companies. And if we do get a ruling, it'll be like the Johnson & Johnson thing from over the weekend, right? Johnson & Johnson pays a fine and everyone goes about their business. And it'll be a big fine in a vacuum, but like these companies print so much money, there's nothing the government can really do to stop that, I think. So Amazon, Apple, Microsoft, Facebook, to a lesser extent, Netflix. I mean, yeah, they all, we live in a market and society really where the big get bigger and the rich get richer. And these are the rich companies right here.
Yep. And if anything, we're moving more and more into a digital trend. So with that being said, tech should always see kind of the lift.
Now, and then going down that tech theme, though, you mentioned earlier as well, Mitch, huge rotation today. Reopening is getting punished.
Crushed.
Stay home is getting loved. I always look at the same few stocks for my stay home, right? Zoom. I look at Teladoc, right? Strong. I look at Peloton.
Look, the PTON. I was just about to say that. We had to look at for Joel.
I mean, it was a huge reopening or stay-at-home play.
Yeah.
Huge stay-at-home play, right?
Not looking strong.
Real
Not looking bad.
You talked about the cruise stocks, right? RCL. We talked about Boeing this morning. Airlines. I mean, they're all getting punished today, and they've all had huge runs. Look at the run. Look at how far we've come in a year in American Airlines. Called the Jet TT. I forget all of them at once, but I mean, it's sort of like nothing goes up forever. We lost this correlation. It seemed like for a while there, where the rotation stay-at-home trade wasn't a pair like it was last year, but today it is a pair. Today you can buy any. You want to buy now.
Spencer, look at Hilton.
You want to fade. You want to fade this if you're a fader, you would sell the stay at home and buy the reopening plays. But
how can Hilton be getting hit here? This is why sometimes people miss out that like the market thinks ahead, right? Because if you're thinking, I mean, this is probably the best time for Hilton, right? Summertime, a lot of people making reservations.
Yeah.
This is the market being ahead of this. And so sometimes I always try to think, like, is the market with the news right now, or is it looking ahead? It's looking like here, like we got to run up towards this news. And now that we're actually in the time where we should get a whole bunch of reservations, it's looking like we're getting a downturn.
Yeah. So. And just to be clear, like if you had a gun to my head and say play this, I would be fading all this. I'd be buying Hilton. I'd be buying the cruise lines and the airlines. I'd be selling. I mean, like look at Etsy today. I saw that they're going to be on Mad Money tonight.
Etsy.
So they got that going for them, but still 6% gain for Etsy. This thing has got walloped earlier in the year. It's come back a bit of a ways. It's closed that gap there. So we're going a little bit, dare I say, parabolic in Etsy the last week. So I would not be inclined to fade that. You don't want to fade a stock going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What was that, like 9 days in a row? But yeah. Who's staying at home? Lately wants to know. No one's staying at home. Is the
I actually wanted to bring some numbers here in for our AMC guys. Comcast owned Universal's F9 actually made $70 million in ticket sales.
Really,
Spencer? $70 million.
So somebody asked us about. Someone mentioned Julie Walker. Well, what do we think about Comcast? First off, Julie Walker. That Roku rumor was literally just a throwaway line in a Wall Street Journal article. I would not say they're looking at Roku. Comcast said we're not looking at it. Well, actually, they didn't. They just said the speculation was speculation and nothing more. They didn't outright deny it. But the whole thing, let's pull up a 15-minute chart on Comcast. That candle right there, that was when the article came out speculating like Comcast could buy Roku. So market doesn't like it. But again, it's nothing more than a speculation in an article. I don't think there's any there yet. Fundamentally, this does nothing for me. Just like the fundamentals of the business, chart-wise, also does nothing for me.
One thing that should help it is the parks reopening, right?
Haven't they been reopened? I think they've been opened.
I don't know how the attendance has been really. I'm not sure about Universal. I know I found out about Disney when it reopened, but I'm not sure how Universal.
Well, I think they've been, maybe. I'm not quite sure.
Have to find out.
Yeah,
there you go.
I guess probably reopening. All right, Mitch, go prep for SPAC's attack. We got
yes.
And I'll hang out with the good people here.
Definitely. Let Spencer run it until then, guys. I'll be out of here. Definitely check me out at 4 p.m. I should have some trade ideas by then, guys. One of the things is we'll definitely take a look at the dailies, see how we're going on the sideways trend right now, see if we can continue. I know that was mentioned. I did get a question by Andrew about CCIV. I'm trying to be as transparent as I can be about this one because I am calling it to continue making its rip. Right now, I'm in at 25.22. Just to give you an eyesight exactly. All right, guys. I'll talk to you later. Spencer, handle it down.
All right, thanks a lot, Mitch. Good question from Trent A in the chat. One of the reasons that I can't be putting on like day trades that I have to babysit is because I am working, right? And I literally can't be paying attention all the time, and I can't be micromanaging my trades. That being said, let me just. That should be big enough, I think. I am looking for trades. I'm always looking for more trades. I'm always looking for things to buy. Okay. But I'm not like trading every single chart or whatever that we bring up on the screen. I'm not, trading it. I'm more so just looking for ideas. But if I see something that I really like, I'll jump in there, no problem. So this is my movers tool or my scanner, Benzinga Pro. We're looking at the biggest gainers. Actually, let's just change this one on the bottom here. Let's change that to losers. Looking at our biggest gainers and losers here for the day. I've got a chart up on the top right. Newsfeed up on the bottom right. Am I in open? I'm not in open. Let's take a look. I haven't looked at open for a while. Let's go to a bigger chart. What was there? Man. This was a SPAC, right? Wasn't it? All these SPACs. I mean, look, the way I feel the same about this as I do about all of them, right? Like, if you're in this thing, it better be for the long term, right? Because you got so much overhead supply between now and then. It looks like a very hard a very steep hill to climb, right? To get back to 35.40. I am in SoFi, and I got smacked around a bit on Friday. Oops. So if you're in this with me, we had a pretty brutal day. All-time lows. All right. If I was in this for a trade, I would have sold at a loss, but I am not. So, as Leonardo DiCaprio says in Wolf of Wall Street, I'm not effing selling. But let's go here. There's a few more things I want to hit on. Yeah, I know Mitch was talking about Workhorse. What got into Workhorse today? What got into that? I know there was a headline, right? There? No, maybe there wasn't. Jesus. Up 7%. Let's go to a daily. All right. Like you can see it's consolidating. All right. It's trying. So this was the day where they announced that they didn't get the USPS contract, right? So it's trying, guys. Oh man, I'm rooting for it, especially after the Lordstown debacle, right? Doesn't Workhorse own a stake and ride like 10% of the company or whatever? But we always knew, right? Someone's talking about Arrival, right? We always knew that there was going to be big winners and big losers. We were definitely in, I think it's safe to call this period an EV bubble, right? Last fall / like January, February, right? There was all these EV companies going public, right? Arrival, CCIV, Lordstown. Workhorse has been around for a little bit, but Canoe, right? You had Neo in China and Xpeng and Lee, and we always knew that there was gonna be big winners and big losers, right? How do you pick the winner? I don't know, and that is why my long-term investing philosophy is biased toward ETFs because I don't know how to pick. I'm not confident in my own ability to pick the winner, right? And I don't think anyone really knows. And if you do pick the winner, congratulations. Maybe it was a great pick, but maybe it was also a little bit lucky. All right. So why is Arrival down today? Is there any news on Arrival? ARVL. Oh. So very interesting. On a day where Mitch was talking about the EV chart earlier, right? Let's go to a 15-minute chart. You can look at Fisker, right? Having a great day. I saw Neo had a few headlines, right? Having a great day. Tesla having a good day. On a day where there is some relative strength in EVs, and you see yours lagging, that does not bode well. It does not bode well if you can't rally with the rest of your friends, the rest of your peers. Don't like it. Don't like it. Okay. Sorry. And yeah, there's just so many of these names, guys. How's CCIV doing? All right, well, you know what? At least it's moving with the rest of the sector, moving in the right direction. God. What else? There's a few things that I had written down. Now I've forgotten them, and we already covered them with Mitch. But I was looking at. Oh yeah, interesting that the all those gene therapy names is they've held up, but they're off the highs of the day. Watching that, I mentioned Etsy. Watching that. Here we go. I know Mitch mentioned Nvidia ripping today. There is got some positive ink on their ARM deal. Guys, look at the banks. So weak today. Right? We had the stress test news on, was it Friday? No, it was Thursday after the close, right? Stress test news. They all passed. Surprise, surprise. They're all going to respond to that by issuing buybacks, raising their dividends. Not a surprise. I don't think we saw any headlines today, but they're coming, right? They're definitely coming. And the banks are all down into those headlines today, giving back a lot of those gains from that Friday pump at the open, right? Very interesting. Lily would buy banks on the dip. I mean, look, I thought on Thursday, this was Thursday, I thought on Thursday that the banks were a buy into the stress test results, right? Like, because, and Mark Chaikin disagreed. Mark Chaikin said, nah, he would sell the banks. And because he thought, everyone knew already what was going to happen. Everyone knew the banks were going to pass the final round of the Fed stress test and be able to do whatever they want as far as the buybacks and the dividends are concerned, right? Well, turned out the market didn't know because these things all rallied at the open on Friday. We are now giving some of those gains back here. I'm going to stick to the same playbook again, though. Does everyone know that all these banks are going to be issuing buybacks and dividends and all that good stuff and raising their divvies? Probably. They all know it, just like they knew it on Thursday. But I bet you we see the same thing again, right? Obvious headline. We know it's coming. We're going to rally after the fact anyway because the market sometimes is that dumb. So, Lily, I'm with you. Buy the banks here. Oh, man. All right. Webcoin's looking at Wish. Is this thing in Breakout City? Yes, it is in Breakout City. Oh, my goodness. Yeah. Oh, look at that. It's right there. It is right there. $15. Very little resistance. I bet you we see break 15 within the hour. Within the next hour, I mean. Not by 11. Speaking of Wish, there was a few other, I don't know if you want to call them short squeeze candidates or what, that I wanted to bring to your attention today. These are from fintel.io. They do some pretty good research there. Clove, which obviously you all are familiar with, has a high short interest. I know if you're watching pre-market prep this morning, you know that Tim Quast said short interest is not what matters. It's mostly more about supply of shares versus demand from shares or demand of buyers. But we're also looking at borrow rates and supply. So the borrow rate on Clove is 55%. That's the borrow fee. That's high. That's certainly high. AEI is another one. High borrow fee of 51%. Down today. APOP is another one that they highlighted. Borrow fee of 80, almost 85% on this thing. So it's expensive to borrow. APOP. Kind of flat. It is flat today. It's down a penny. So no real trading action as of yet today. These are just stocks that were highlighted by Fintel.io over the weekend. Orf, you all are familiar with this one. This thing was the crazy one. I did some real stupid stuff. Yeah, I went to like 80 or whatever. Jesus. All right, well, never going back there again. And then DBGI Digital Brands is another one they highlighted. Borrow fee of 51%. Can you please look at Mara? Yeah. How did Mara behave on Friday? Because, they were joining the Russell 1000. Was it the 1000, right? Kind of quiet on Friday, I mean. Let's go back to it. Yeah, kind of quiet on Friday. Interesting. This is a 1 minute chart. All right, let's go back to a 15-minute. Good day today. I mean, Bitcoin. I'm actually a little bit surprised to see Bitcoin up. I know there was the headline about Binance, right? It's having some problems overseas, having some problems in Europe and Asia for that matter. But this thing just moves with Bitcoin. That's all it does. So Bitcoin's up, Mara's up, therefore Riot's up. I personally have never seen the appeal of owning a stock like Marathon. I would much rather just own Bitcoin itself, like not even futures, just actual Bitcoin, right? I've just never seen the appeal of owning a miner. I've yet to have someone explain to me why I need to have one in my portfolio. Chart does not look terrible, right? I mean, this is also why I find one reason why I like to any technical analysis I do, I like to keep it so simple, like Joel, support resistance, because you can see whatever you want, right? I could zoom in on this thing and I could see, oh, the trend is my friend. Look how much it's gone up in the last couple of weeks, right? Got up $10. You zoom out. Oh, it's gotten crushed since April. What are we doing, everyone? Sell, 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 sell. Zoom out far enough. Oh, buy, 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 buy. Right? It's just like it's all just depends where you start from. So thank you, Aaron. So yeah, that's one of the reasons why I never really spoke to me. But I've seen worse looking charts than this. Right? Hey, stop going down, right? That's what you need to know. So if Joel were here, he would look for the 50% retracement, right? So the actual low of the move was 18? Call it 1830, and the high of the move was 57, right? So quick math, 38 is your 50%, and the whole idea behind that is that if you can gain half of it back, you'll probably gain all of it back. That's the idea. So $38 would be your midpoint from this low to that high. So that's how to watch out for. All right. Alf. Someone's talking about Alf. Is that one still moving again? I hope not. Oh my God, it is. Jesus. Was there news on Alf? Does it need news? No. No news on Alf. Not today, at least. Doesn't matter. What can you say about it? There's nothing to say about this. It's hit an all-time high today, right? I don't know. If you're in it, great. And if you're not, I don't know if I want to chase it up here. Right? Yeah, exactly right. What's the float? 2 million shares? It's ridiculous, right? Nothing to say about it. I don't know. Yeah, Snap Crackle Pop. We were talking solar. Tan is looking amazing. This thing is really a move. It's when it's in favor, it is really in favor, and when it is out in favor, it is really out of favor. Right? Look at the move last year. Like at some point, we're gonna have to reconcile this. Reconcile the fact that they went from 20 to 120 in 1 year. Right? Things just don't do that and then keep going up after that forever. They just don't. That's not how the stock market works. There's always a period of consolidation. So we've gotten that here this year. We've bottomed out, it would appear for now. How many up weeks in a row is that? 4 up weeks in a row? 6 out of 7? You got, it looks like a lot of supply right here. Let's go to a daily. Go back to a weekly. All right. Daily. Yeah. It looks like just a lot of congestion here. You could take a shot, right? Let's see. What price would I lean on? I would lean on, what are we at? We're at 89 right now. We're up almost 5% today. If you're chasing up here, you're probably doing it backwards, is what Dennis always says. If I want to take a shot from the long side, I would say, okay, stop myself out at whatever that low is, right? 84. That's also the low of today, right? No, not low of today. Stop myself out at 84, maybe even Friday's close, right? 85 something. BBBY, don't they have earnings coming up, Syed? I'm 90% sure they have earnings this week. Look at that. Q1 earnings confirmed for in 2 days from now on Wednesday before market open. All right. So we're going into an event as if earnings really matter for this stock. They do not. Oh man. Oh wow. All right. This is a tough one. I don't know what to say. I don't know if I'm bullish or bearish by looking at this chart. So yeah, what about you? Why'd you ask about it? Nick says it looks toppy. I don't know. I do not know. I do not know. Sorry. I mean, look, you came off those highs in January. You made it, took another shot at it in May. Didn't quite get there. I would love to know. And this is a question I can ask Jake at TrendSpider: is how much volume there was up here, right? At these prices. Just how many bag holders are there in this thing? I don't know. When a hedge fund covers a short position, does it take 2 days for it to reflect on the stock price? No, it takes 2 days for the trade to settle. And this is not just hedge funds. This is anyone. This is everybody, actually. Okay, it takes 2 days. Is it 2 or is it 3? Pretty sure it's 2. 2 trading days to settle. What that means is, so if you remember back in January when GameStop went to the moon and Robinhood paused trading, the reason that Robinhood gave for having to stop trading in GameStop on their platform was that all of a sudden the interest rates on the basically on the trade before settlement went through the roof, right? So you make a trade, you sell it, you sell the stock, whatever, okay, or you buy a stock, whatever. There's a 2-day window where it takes the trade to actually process, right? And in those 2 days, it might reflect in your account that you did that, but you didn't actually do it yet, right? And what's happening in those 2 days is your broker is talking to the DTCC, right, Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation, and between the two of them, they're working to clear your trade, so they're going to reflect your trade in your account for now. But it takes 2 days for the trade to actually go through. So for those 2 days, is the question was, does it take 2 days for it to reflect on the price? No, the price is reflected automatically, right? It's reflected in the moment, in real time. But it takes 2 days to actually clear into your account. I'm trying to explain this, and I'm not doing a very good job. I'm sorry. Settlement's very complicated, guys. All right. It's very, very complicated. Essentially, your broker, whoever it is, Robinhood, E-Trade, whomever, Fidelity, whatever, they have to go through a clearing firm to actually clear your trades. And it takes them 2 days to do that. So they're going to reflect the trade in your account as soon as it's done, right when you make it, but it's not actually technically done for 2 days later. I hope I explained that right. I fear I did a poor job, but it's not easy stuff to understand. Thank you. It takes 2 days for cash to settle. And there could be some penalties, right? There could be some penalties, and your broker will probably warn you, right? If you sell these shares during this time, we're going to restrict your account or whatever. There could be some penalties for trading within that 2-day window. If you don't have enough money in your account, for example. All right, it's 11 o'clock though. Oh, how many likes are we at, guys? How many likes is this stream at? 427. No, I lied. 137. That's how many you were watching. 137. Can we get to 150? SPAX Attack is up next. They have another great guest. They have guests all the time on. They get like the best guests on their show. They got the CEO of Quanergy, CCAC. is the ticker. Let's bring it up. CCAC is the ticker of the SPAC. There it is. They're going to be up on SPAC Stack talking 3D LiDAR in right about now, actually. So drop me a like if you can. I'd appreciate that. And do it for, if not for me, then do it for Mitch, right? If not for me, do it for Mitch. I know there's more questions in chat. Why am I negative on cruise stocks? Actually, I would be inclined to buy the dip here, right? On cruise stocks, which as a contrarian, they're getting smacked around today, but they're all reopening. They're all talking about getting back on the seas. So I don't hate the cruise stocks here, not at all. Not at all. All right. It's 11:01. Jeez, let's go. SPACs Attack up live now. Everyone, smash the like button. Thank you very much. And I'll see you a little bit later. We got SPACs right now. We got Power Hour. We got Get Technical. We got Moon or Bust. So I will see you on the At the Close show at 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time. Everyone have a good rest of your day. And go make some money out there. Whenever I can find the music. And I'll just end the stream. SPACs Attack is up right now.